gives us an opportunity to take a look at this starting grid. Kyle Wyman, Troy Herfoss, and Loris Baz on the front row.
And then we're going to have Bradley Smith, James Rispoli, and Tyler O'Hara. Rounding row number 2 there, Hayden Gillum, Cam Peterson, Rocco Landers, Owen Sorg, Jake Lewis, and Corey West. And Max Flinders.
The grid is set. Riders have done their warm-up lap, and now it's time to get after this 8-lap affair for Mission King of the Baggers, race number 2. With your pole sitter, the 33, Kyle Wyman, after a big one yesterday. Who's going to get the jump into turn number 1? Baz, right part of your screen, looking for a cleaner turn number 1. See if he can get through it. Here we go when the lights go off. Clutches are out. We're rolling. Here's turn number 1. It's a left turn. Kyle Wyman bends it in. Loris Baz looking for some room on his teammate. And Baz looking for some traction. He stands it up.
Rispoli went up underneath him there. As you know, you got to remember, this is Loris's first time to Daytona, and that turn 1 is really, really different. So you've got Kyle Wyman up front. Look at Herfoss trying to go around the outside. I wonder if almost thought Kyle had a problem there for a second as they both come accelerating out of that International Horseshoe. You have got this factory Indian now leads as Troy Herfoss rode around the outside of Kyle Wyman in the Horseshoe. So Greg, also Wyman comes into this race. He did not go out for warm-up this morning. He's got a tick of the flu or something. Wasn't feeling his best. But this is what you'd expect from Troy Herfoss, isn't it? After having the issue yesterday, this guy won the championship with grit last year, and he's leading it again right now. They're leading this race. They head up onto the banking.
As the number 1 SNS Indian motorcycle, that's on a Challenger. Troy Herfoss goes onto the banking. Kyle Wyman on the 33 on that Harley-Davidson Dyno Jet factory racing machine in tow. And we're going to see how these two American Iron machines face up on the high banks of Daytona. And Kyle goes underneath in the draft. They're side by side as they head towards the chicane. Kyle will have the nod. Now it's a braking duel. As you can see, there's a flag waving for debris.
Flag, yeah. I wonder what that's from.
That probably Cam Peterson and his bike would be, probably my guess.
Yep.
That Cam had to park that bike at the beginning of the race. And there's Corey West. We know that, unfortunately, for Max Flinders and his crew, not able to make the. It looks like he's out there, Max Flinders.
Yeah, we heard word that he might not be out there for this race, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one.
Oh no, he didn't make it out there.
The two factory Harley Davidsons of Rispoli and Bradley Smith, they're in 3rd and 4th. As they all come across, we have got basically the field. You can see there's about 6 bikes all fighting. We got all the factory Indians and all the factory Harleys.
Oh, Bradley Smith!
Bradley Smith tips off. Finished 2nd yesterday. So for Bradley, that's a real shame. And he's going to just get to a point where that front end just started to fold. And the thing is about these bikes, Greg, is once the front end folds.
These were the two that were locked in the championship battle. Troy Herfoss, Kyle Wyman. Wyman in the draft again as you have a look at that Motul weather. Beautiful, 72 degrees. Not a ton of wind either, so this is all racing as Kyle takes over the lead.
So 2 second-place finishes coming off the weekend. Seemed like a job well done, a great report card, but he said he was kicking himself because he knew that he made mistakes that a racer of his caliber he felt should not be making. So coming into this weekend, he says,
Baggers and Supersport Series are now live on top Sportbook and DFS platforms. Scan the flow code or visit nxtbets.com/PlayMA to see what's available in your location. Sign up, claim exclusive bonuses, and make your picks now.
Baz, if he's not careful, as they come out of the chicane, he does a nice job of pulling up on the back of these guys, but he's got to do something special. Look at how good Loris went through the middle of that chicane and how it goes around. And I think that, is that Rispoli?
Yeah, James Rispoli
has
hits
gone
the deck.
down in turn number 6. So that's going to be as he's running over to the bike to get it upright. That's a bummer. So now there are 3 at the front. Through this infield as we get another look at Rispoli, and you can see Greg again. He just tucks it a little bit, and then the second that front goes,
the race as Rispoli continues, and it looks like he's not going to be able to. So the 33-year-old out of this race, lost the front, and that'll be it for him until the next one. But back up front we go, the number 1 in the slipstream. Is he going to be able to get past Kyle Wyman? He doesn't, so Herfoss will sit there behind Kyle into the infield section.
Where he's going to be able to draft past this to Harley Davidson as they get into this tri-oval area. You're going to see him duck out to the right of Kyle Wyman, go past him on the high side. And so when you look at it, that's the fastest lap of the race at a 50 flat.
set the fastest lap of the race last time by the 150.083, as you can see right there. So he's really turning the screws on Kyle Wyman, who's right there. And at this point, Kyle's experienced. These two faced off here with Troy Herfoss's first race on the bagger in the United States. And so Troy's had it done to him twice, but Kyle knows what he needs to do. So as we go to 1 lap to go, we'll see what these two veterans have in store for us.
Yeah, Troy's almost got to feel just a little bit snake bit at this place with the 2 results last year when he looked like he was so close to doing the double. And then obviously having yesterday's issues as Kyle Wyman on the white flag goes to the high side as they go down into turn 1. Is he going to be able to do anything? He is not. So that was a little bit of a test run. Now, Troy Herfoss is in exactly the same spot he was in last year of trying to figure out how he's going to handle this situation, because it looks like Kyle is pretty comfortable sitting on the back of the number 1 for now. And if we remember last year in the second race, Troy had a big enough gap as they came out of the chicane. Or up, here we go again, right?
Yeah, but Loris Baz.
Look at, now they're brake checking each other. So Baz could get a double bike draft all the way to the line. These guys don't. Let's see if Kyle has a look back here to see what happens as they go through here, because now he's going to have a big number 76. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
So now Kyle knows. So now the psychology between all 3 of these guys is going to be really interesting. And Baz, all he wants to do is get in that draft enough down the back straightaway where he can stay there. Like,
Herfoss spins it. Now Baz doesn't really have the drive to get it done. So Kyle's like, I'm done messing around. Let me see if I can lead this again. If I can win this from the front. This is Daytona. Being in the lead bike doesn't always pay off. It can, but it doesn't always. So Kyle Wyman's like, playtime's over, let's go to the chicane. Now Kyle's got to have the perfect run through the chicane and get out of there as fast as possible. All the while, there's Loris Baz. Ooh, Kyle with a little bobble. He gets a good drive out of there. And Jay, what do you think?
I think Troy's in the catbird seat this time, and I think he's going to have no problem drafting past Kyle. They're going to be hitting top gear right about now, and he's going to be getting sucked into the draft pretty violently at this moment, and you're going to see him pull to the right side of Kyle Wyman. And is he going to be able to do anything?
Here they go to the stripe. They come. Wyman turns it left and wins the race by 56 thousandths of a second. And Herfoss thought he had timed it perfectly. But what a run out of the chicane for Kyle Wyman, who takes victory. Well, it's time to sweep. That's the thing for nice swept. Yeah, you get it. You won the 2. So, welcome back, Kyle Wyman with the victory. 0.056 of a second over Troy Herfoss. Thank you, Daytona. We love those race finishes. And how about Loris Baz with his? A look at the point standings after 2 races, and Kyle Wyman with a perfect 50. Troy Herfoss with 22 adrift, and Bradley Smith after that podium yesterday and his get off today, 24 points back.